Hello and welcome everyone to episode 168 of One Piece at a Time, the One Piece read-through podcast where we read and discuss 5 chapters of the One Piece manga each and every week. I'm your host, Derrick Bittner, and I'm joined by a wonderful co-host and freelance letterer, Brandon Bovia. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm, of course, a freelance letterer extraordinaire, ready to talk about some One Piece. And I feel like nobody's counting, right? But I feel like this episode's going to be on the shorter side. I feel like we're getting into the wrap up. Like we're just kind of going through
properly in fights this time, and there tends to be not as much to talk about here, but there's certainly stuff to talk about. Like there's not like massively in depth or anything like that, but I like there's with each of the characters we get a nice little, I don't know, twist, not a twist, but like a little extra oomph to them that adds to each chapter.
Yeah, it's not just as straightforward as like, okay, then they fight and then this. There's at least one little element that helps it just kind of put a nice little bow on it. Mm-hmm. And I think it works the best here at the start and definitely at the end.
Ooh, that end. That was completely unexpected on my end. Like because you said like every so often you look ahead and be like, oh, we get to this part, and I'm like expecting some big revelation or something like that, and instead we get that, and I'm like, oh, that's so different from what I expected, but I still love it.
Yeah. I immediately, noticing that you, not to get ahead of ourselves, but it's like, oh, Derrick really likes Senior Pink. Good. Very good.
Oh no. But yes, let's just dive right into it because we're just in kind of we're just in fight mode. So let's do it. With chapter 771, Sai, Dawn of the Happosui Army. And get a nice color spread here with what a menagerie.
It's one of the most random assortments of characters.
From the Straw Hats, we have Luffy, Sanji, Zoro, Nami, and Chopper. But also there's Sabo, Ace, Hancock, Bartolomeo, and Law. Which, why?
I wonder if this was some sort of like a popularity contest kind of thing.
I wonder because I don't think they mentioned the results of the popularity contest being shown, but I don't think they were scanned into what's on Viz.
Yeah.
So I think we missed the third round of the popularity contest, which is a bit of a shame. I would have been curious about that.
Yeah. I kind of wonder if I should check when those happen again. Just to double check so that we can cover those whenever they come up.
It's fascinating where things fall, who rises, who falls, what's how each of the Straw Hats are considered at the time, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it would make sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's 10. These are. Okay. I think that's our key. I think these are the 10 that are the most popular.
That makes sense. I guess it would make sense why it's like a horse race. I don't know.
Poor Robin and Usopp and Frankie.
Yeah, right.
But also good on my boy Bartolomeo getting in there. So
yeah. I love how we've had Sabo like revealed for like 30 chapters.
I think he had that massive increase that Ace saw when he first got introduced. So that's fitting.
Very true. And that Ace is still such a popular character, even though he's no longer with us. That's wild.
I don't think that's going to end anytime soon.
No.
That's a character that kind of sticks with you.
Yeah.
Let's get into the chapter itself, where we still have Zoro versus Pika.
This, I think, there are a few fights. Like, I don't want to get on my high horse like right off of the bat, but I think it was the thing that I've noticed the most during this set of chapters is like there are some fights that are like probably way longer than they really had any right to be, and then there's a bunch of the ones that we cover that feel kind of over and done with.
Quicker than you'd expect.
In a way that, quicker than you would expect.
Yeah, some I would have expected to get at least 2 chapters, only get 1. Yeah. Meanwhile, Pika, who's doing so little at this point, same with Zoro, it's just like a constant back and forth apparently that's going on in the background where it's like, okay, Zoro, you really should have finished this guy off by now.
You just got to wrap this up. Yeah, and that's kind of how it's feeling.
You get the sense that Oda's just like, okay, I'm just gonna wait until the time's right, like until it's like where I'm at, where I want. I feel like I should have him defeated.
Yeah,
because it would feel weird to have Pika defeated so early on.
Yeah, especially since he's, just like this big set piece. But I feel like in the way where with a lot of other characters, it's been kind of like they kind of swap around, as like all of the adventuring is happening, who's fighting who kind of is a little bit more fluid. Where like pretty much since like the 730s or 740s, Zoro has been
the initial
trying to
assault on the castle.
Yeah, the initial right. Yeah, that was what kind of established Zoro versus Pika, where he's like, I just need to hit him, and then you still haven't hit him. So it's just like, all right,
I'm figuring him out. Like, okay. And that's the funny thing is like neither are damaged. Like Zoro's not damaged whatsoever.
Yeah, he's fine. There's not really any tension. It's just he's very casual about it, and I do like that we get this little interaction with him and Elisabello, where Elisabello kind of comes up to offer to help, my king punch that happens once an hour. Zoro's just like, too bad, he's mine.
Yeah, it's like, save that for when it's needed. It's like, all right, fine.
Yeah, and then there's this casual conversation. It's like, hey, do you need my help? No,
I'm good. all good.
Yeah,
but that's just sort of like we got to establish what's going on with Zoro. The main course here is definitely Lao Ji and the fight with the Happosui members, including Danshin Zhao, which, okay. I like how Lao Ji is just old man symptoms turned into martial arts moves, apparently. The eye string jab, the icy stiff shoulder, the Immortal Warriors joint hand.
Stance. Yes.
What in the world?
Yeah. Right. Well, God, it threw me for a loop because, of course, he's just like the older I get and the more pain, the more I know pain. It only sharpens my Geo Fist. And then meanwhile, you have Danshin Zhao he says, I'm opposed to your marriage, and he's just like, wait, what? What is happening here? And then you realize he's been paying attention to what's going on with Sai and Baby 5.
And it's like everybody's like, wait, he's focusing on them, and Baby 5's immediately like, how can you be against it? And it's like Sai just wants to be heard. It's like, why is this shocking to you? We're not getting married. And that's when Danshin Zhao's like, no, you already have a betrothed, Ook Lisha, the daughter of the chieftain of the Happosui Army. And he's like, yeah, I don't care who I have as a wife. Add the 2 treasures of Nihon and the 8 treasures of the Happo and make us the 10 Happosui Army for all I care. It's like, what the heck? They're just talking about family politics at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and of course, Nihon, which I think would be 2 fist, and 8 or Happo, I think is 8 fist. So he's basically 2 plus 8 equals 10.
And
well, yes,
yeah, it's interesting in of itself. Of course, we got these random guys on the side, these members of Doflamingo's forces. They're like, how can this be? They're ignoring Lao Ji. He's gonna be really angry. And he's like, eh? he's like, oh man,
couldn't hear him. He's old. Well, and then not only that, they're like, oh, look at that aura of rage steaming off his head, and it's his soul leaving his body because he's so old and he just dies in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, he's ascending to heaven. There he goes. He's just reached the end of his natural lifespan, and then that's when Baby Five calls out. It's like, no. Don't die, get back here. And it's like, oh, okay. He couldn't hear it properly. He was like, eh? And then he just came back anyway. It's like, what is this?
Man. And then things take just like the biggest like 180 degree turn where like Sai is just trying to get out of this. So, he's here, talking to Baby 5 is just kind of like, okay, how about this? Die for me. If I let you walk away and interfere with the Straw Hats, then any attempt at my repayment will be for nothing. We've got to take down at least the officers. And then she's just like, okay.
Okay. And forms a gun next to her head. And he's like, what the hell? It's like...
This chapter is bonkers.
It is so back and forth. And that's such a dark panel right there where she's smiling so sincerely with that gun next to her head. It's like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. And that it is sort of it's a really funny joke when it's a joke of just like, oh, he needs me. I have to be needed. And then to see it kind of come to a head here where it's just like I will literally kill myself if it means
seeing how far she's willing to take it. It's not just a money thing. It's not just a puppy love thing. It's no, this person needs me and I need that. And that's where the texture comes in, because we don't get backstory for villains that often in One Piece. It is just not a thing. It's not like we're fighting Django and here's Django's backstory, or we're fighting, Mr. Four, here's his backstory, that sort of thing. The best we got in the old chapters is we defeated Mr. One. Oh, it turns out he's a really powerful bounty on in his own right. This Das Bones character. That's a big accomplishment in retrospect. We don't, but like, what's his deal? It's just, that's how he is.
Yeah, I feel like especially for the kind of the lower, even the major villains certainly, but certainly like their underlings don't really get that much sort of texture or context to them.
Yeah, and this completely throws off Sai. It's like, no, don't do that. If you kill yourself, the victory will leave a bad aftertaste. And Dungeon Zhao's like, no, just forget her. Why are you stopping it? Just let her do it. And he's like, you got to be cold and calculating if you're going to be a leader of men. It's like, no, shut up. I'm not listening to you, woman. No. And you get a flashback for Baby Five where it's like apparently just a group of extremely poor people, starving people, and they're like, why did you bother having the child? It won't be of help for years and it eats too much, so just go leave her in the mountains. And that's what happens. It's like her mother takes her into the woods and says, no, you're no use, you're unwanted, unneeded. And Baby Five's like, you don't need me. And that's why she's so happy. It's like, I am needed. Somebody needs me. And
as she's pointing a gun to her head, it's just one of the wildest pieces of imagery, I think, out of this manga. And so that really puts Sai in a really interesting place here, where he's trying to stop Baby Five and also trying to stop his grandpa.
I think it also adds context to why she's called Baby Five. I thought that was the code name for the longest time, like just something Doflamingo attached to her. But I think her parents literally didn't care. Yeah, you're baby number 5, whatever.
Yeah, that might actually be her real name.
Which, dark.
I feel like
I feel like One Piece is getting darker and darker as we go along.
Yeah, I think it is. Thinking of some of the stuff coming up, I didn't realize that, like, this is kind of the point where sort of the backstories are really starting to get into some really interesting territory. And even if it's not focused on too terribly much, I feel like Oda does a good job of keeping kind of like the main moment-to-moment stuff, never super dark, but certainly the places that they come from. And I feel like it says a lot, too, because, we learned through the SBS, so like, Doflamingo picked up Baby Five and some of the other characters, like later on. And that just, again, what is it that Oda said that, like, he places great emphasis on, like, the circumstances that people are, like, born into?
Yeah. And that certainly plays for Baby Five. It also explains her maid outfit, because she lives to serve, literally. She wants to be needed. Like, I like the care and thought Oda put into her. Again, it adds that extra texture.
I even think the weapon Devil Fruit is kind of a good extension of that.
Yeah,
too.
She views herself as a tool. I'm needed. I'm useful. So
Yep.
Fantastic character work there for
a relatively
2 pages
minor
of backstory.
For a gag character.
Speaking of gags, we got Dungeon Zhao coming in, be like, all right, I'm just going to take care of this. I'm going to split both you, Sai, and the girl. And Sai stops him with the Wujia Gen heel, which this poor man's head bends the pointed head of his into another angle, having their hockey meet up with his foot. And then he turns around to Baby Five and slaps her so she stops pointing a gun at herself, takes care of them both. And she's like, I was trying to help you. It's like, and I guess you've been living in a place where no one forced you to stop doing that. And Dungeon Zhao.
That is a really...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, Tanjin-Chao's head is broken again. But I do really like that is sort of a really interesting implication of kind of like her role in the Doflamingo family, and how nobody really kind of cared to put us. And we saw that with her introduction, where she's like, fighting Doflamingo, where it's like, yeah, it is a family, and it is a place where she can be kind of safe, but nobody's actually really taking her problems like seriously
or stopping her. It's a good point.
Yeah.
You look at all of them, like they just feed into it, like, hey, lend me
exactly.
money. Take advantage of that. Even Law, lend me money, like to her as a kid.
Yeah.
Like he just learned to take advantage of her with with how willing she is to that. And then there's the only real sense you got of maybe that sort of thing is Doflamingo killing her fiancés because he's protective of her. So in his own weird way, Doflamingo might be the only one that cared enough about her for that sort of thing, but in a way that it was kind of conflicting to what she wanted. It's weird.
Yeah, yeah. It's surprisingly kind of complicated and layered of a relationship.
Very much so. By the way, remember how we said this was going to be short? If we're going to end up doing this every time, we're in trouble.
I don't think so. Personally, I don't think so.
But even Sai's amazed that he pulled this off, that he like bent his grandfather's head like this. He's like, you've broken, and John Chenjiao is crying. He's like, you've broken my drill head. And there's like, and you think it's because he's sad about his head getting messed up again. It's like, no, your true power has finally awakened. Your training has finally borne fruit. Well done. Thank you for breaking my head.
It's very funny, the kind of 0 to 100 type of character that Don Shinjiao is. It is kind of similar to, how Luffy dealt with him. But the sort of the idea that, like, oh, I need, like my grandsons need to succeed me one day. And, they're kind of even like these, like, since my fight with Straw Hat, my old ailment has flared up, dulling my ability to fight. They're having this really like heartwarming moment, and then Lao Ji just comes in and punches out Jin Jiao.
Just punches him right in the chest, and that's it. That's kind of it for him. But I like that. Like that's how you pass on. Are you able to split the continent of ice? Cool, you're the new dragon nail thing. But yeah. Lao Ji takes out Don Chenjiao. He's all buffed up Master Roshi style. Like he reveals that this is the ultimate art of the Geofist style, battle insurance, an exercise that builds up young muscle and stores it away to counteract illness, injury, or just plain old age. And his strength is at his youthful peak, so he cannot be stopped. And so, he goes to take on Sai. And he's like, you can't stop the young master. You cannot have baby 5. And again, the way that the Doflamingo family views her, she would give up her life if someone needed it. Have you ever seen another woman this useful? Which is okay. And again, she's happy about that. She's crying because she's useful.
And then it's what I really like is that Sai kind of immediately, that he's able to kind of clock what's going on here, and he's just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna take her as my wife.
Yeah, because Don Chenjiao basically said before he got knocked out, I was like, hey, you mastered it. I don't care what you do. You mastered the drill dragon nail, so do whatever you want. And Baby 5 is happy. Lao Ji gets clocked in the head with the thing that can split an ice continent, and even splits the stuff behind it with all the stuff with Pika's mountains. And bam, down goes Lao Ji, and now it's Don Sai.
Yeah. I also, as one like last little note, I also really like that Sai kind of gets a little bit of like self-determination, where he kind of he gets to make the choice for himself, that he's like, I'm going to choose who I'm going to marry. I'm the leader now. Like I'm the one calling the shots. It's just it's not huge, but it's a cool little like arc,
Again, it's an interesting arc where a non-main character gets to take out one of the main bad guys.
Yeah, that
does not happen, especially for Sai, who really didn't show up much before that. Like he was kind of a presence during the tournament, but not like a major one.
I do really like that's what we're doing with these. We had Harden last week, and it really seems like we're kind of, again, Zoro's been off in La La Land against Pika, but like we're not really focusing on the Straw Hat. Like it's just all of the people.
Usopp's had his victory. Zoro's working on his. Robin, we'll get to. And I think that's it for our. Oh, Frankie's. Yeah, Frankie also.
Yeah, we'll get to
him. Again, shame that Sanji didn't meet Baby Five.
Yeah,
especially with the whole marriage thing. That would have been.
That is an interaction I would really like to see.
Yes, indeed. We do have an SBS before we move on, where we got questions here about so. If you ate a single bite of a devil fruit and then someone else ate the leftovers, would they get the powers too? And no, they wouldn't. The instant that someone takes a bite, that power belongs to that person. The rest is just really bad fruit. But nobody seems to realize this because they always just eat the entire fruit.
They always eat the whole thing, which is very funny.
And then we get the ages and heights of our Revolutionary Army. Sabo is 6'1", 22. Koala is 5'3", 23, and Hack is 9'2", and 38. And he's a soldier fish man. And then we finally get to see what Uklisha looks like.
Yes.
Size, former betrothed, which just a bender. It's just a bender, gender bent Psy.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get to our next chapter. 772, Cabbage and Lomeo. And hey, I was right. It was Watatsumi.
That's the sea god we've been dealing with.
Yep. He's like, oh, hey, you're welcome. It's like, what?
Yeah. Oh boy.
All right, sure. I still don't know how I feel about these.
Yeah. It's been going right along.
It stands a chance to get a little better by the end of this, but we'll see.
Yeah. It's dragging for sure.
Mm-hmm. For the chapter itself, we actually move on to the Flower Hill, where it's Kyros versus Diamante, as Diamante realizes that he was the toy soldier. That's why he was screaming and shrieking over the body of Scarlet. And now he realizes, like, you're Rebecca's father. Perfect. I'm going to have we're fated to fight. I'm going to kill you so I can just complete my set.
Yeah, of course. He's, basically getting off on it like a complete psychopath at this point. Mm-hmm. But we do have a little bit of a, sort of the tricky part is that, God, I already forgot his name, but he's going after Rebecca.
Yes. He's constantly focusing on Rebecca.
Diamante,
and
Jesus.
Yeah, it's fine. And Rebecca realizes, like, I'm just a ball and chain. I should leave or I should at least help fight. And Kyros is steadfast, is like, no, you are not fighting. I owe you that much, because the fact that I taught you how to fight is a source of regret. But now that I'm human once more, you will never swing that sword again. You will never have to fight like you never wanted to. So it's the promise of a father.
Yeah, he's I'm sorry. He's putting his foot down. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it that way.
Yeah.
The phrase came up in my head, and I was like, "Oh no."
It works. I mean, I love Kyros. I feel like Kyros is probably our MVP for this arc. Like,
one of them for sure.
Yeah, there's a bunch, but he stands out the most to me. And
I feel like he's designed to be just cool.
Yeah, pretty much. But we go back and check in on Zoro, and he's like, "Dang, they really did split the mountain." And I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that and keep that guy in mind, because you never know who might end up as an enemy.
Yeah. Don't want to get on that guy's bad side.
And I love how Baby Five immediately talking like, okay, I'm going to reserve us 2 locations, honey, for, what do you mean? For our wedding and your grandpa's funeral. It's like, no, not dead.
He's not dead yet.
But we go to the third step now, and it's the fight against Gladius as he is getting ready for a lot of different landmasses to just burst. Like,
yeah,
he is.
It feels like a bigger scale, like, than anything we've seen from his abilities so far.
Yeah, it really shows like how dangerous he can be. Probably more so than the others, as we'll get into. Like, Gladius is kind of up there in terms of power sets.
Yeah, I do kind of like that. Because at this point, Gladius is certainly, he's no baby 5 when it comes to, Doflamingo's crew. He's not nearly as in depth. So kind of the problem here is like, we need to get Bartolomeo and Cavendish to work together. He's just like, let me into your barrier. He's like, no, you're gonna put me and Miss Robin at risk. Plus the enemies will get in.
I'm on your side. He's like, I don't care. And, things are getting ready to pop, and it all blows up. And fortunately, Bartolomeo let him in at the last moment. It's like, yep, that looks like instant death, watching all the bodies get blown away by Gladius. Cabbage is kicking his head. He's like, yeah, shouldn't have left me hanging. I nearly had a heart attack.
Yeah, and I love that this is like now. Of course, Cavendish is like, "Let me out." He's like, "What? You want to be let in? Now you want to be let out?" Like,
I'm not letting you back in if I let you out. So,
oh my god, what is he, my mom?
And I like how Bartolomeo's only concern is, has Robin made it to the Flower Hill yet? Okay, she's still fine. That's all that matters.
Yes.
As Robin is running up the side of the mountain with her extra legs popping out so she can just use them as stairs, which...
Yes.
Okay. That works.
Yeah. Hey, that's handy so that Bartolomeo doesn't have to use his barrier.
Yeah. And I love her concern for Rebecca. Is like, I'm sorry for forcing you to go ahead alone, knowing full well that the worst monsters are above. So definitely wanted to take care of that. Mm-hmm. And also... again, the usefulness of Gladius's abilities, where or even just like power set, where he has those goggles that he can zoom in on, focuses on Robin, so he can try to burst those things around her. But fortunately, Bartolomeo is able to counter it with his barrier. Actually, his tennis racket barrier. Yeah. Just bounce it back.
Yes. And I love that he gets Robin, winks at him, thanks him, and then he can't handle it.
I'm not worthy. I was like, oh, she's like, oh, I might make you my slave after all. And nah, I can't be too greedy, but man, I am pumped. And that gives Cavendish enough time to get in close to try to take care of him. But they clash, and that's when Bartolomeo is so happy he unleashes the barrier bulls, which just sends it forward and charges at all of them. And he's like, no, I'm going to risk my life. It's all because of Robin winking at me. It's enough.
Yes. In a hilarious way, I guess it's just, I love the character dynamics at play here. Because like now with Cavendish and Bartolomeo, like Bartolomeo's being the unreasonable one, kind of the crazy one, where I feel like it's usually Cavendish who is causing problems for everybody else, and certainly we'll get there too, but it is kind of they're at each other's throats in a way, like they're kind of like a Zoro and Sanji almost.
Yeah, I did get that vibe. It's a dynamic that works.
Yeah, definitely
just fun, especially because Gladius is very much no nonsense. Mm-hmm, that's sort of his whole thing, but he's basically like, okay, I need a little bit of help to just take care of these idiots. Dellinger, are you done with the second step? And he's like, yeah, we're about wrapped up. Then get over here. Robin's on her way up. My hands are full with these two. Let's get this taken care of. And am I crazy, or have I just never noticed the shark fin that's been coming out of Dellinger's back this entire time?
I feel like he was hiding it.
He had to have. Like I'm looking at it as like, I've never seen that before. I swear I've never seen it before. But there it is.
Now you've got me wanting to go back and check.
Right? I don't know. But I also like we get a little bit more, not like massive texture, but interesting little extras to some of the other characters, like our boxer guy here, what's his name?
Ideo?
Ideo, yeah. Who turns out that extra like shoulder bits that's on his head, on his shoulders, how they extend upwards, is because he's actually a member of the Long Arms tribe.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, that's a weird way to do it, but I guess you can just, the way their double elbows work, you can definitely do it that way, and
I'll cool believe it at this point.
Yeah, you get that reach, I should say.
Yeah.
And yeah, Dellinger definitely starts looking like a madman. He's like, "Oh, I already put a hole in your stomach, so just die." And he's like, "No, my honor depends on it, so I'm not going to let you go because we're all in this together. There's no such thing as a solitary victory. So, I'm going to buy them some time." And that's when Dellinger rips off his hat and starts getting really crazy looking.
Oh,
and, this is what Trash does, and he's burst out his normal teeth to reveal shark teeth. So I feel like he's becoming more and more fish-like as time goes on, which we did learn from Oda that he was like fish, some fish karate.
I think it was
thing.
he was a half fish man, I think, or like
a
hybrid.
Yeah, something half fish man thing. Maybe that's why he can sort of hide in his human form. Mm. But he rips off the hat. And he does declare, he's like, "I'm no ordinary human either. Don't play games with fighting fish blood." Which, I like that, because we have all
that
these
is a really cool connection to make.
These normal fish for the fishmen to be, these normal like crossbreeds, but we've never had one where they're based off of one of Oda's own creations, and we've had the fighting fish this entire time and how dangerous they are. So to reveal that Dellinger is a fighting fishman. Half fish man, whatever. Holy crap.
Yeah. And then I love, we it was sort of interesting too, because we get all of these like, we're having the people from the tournament, the non-straw hats, kind of like everybody's getting their chance to beat down one of the officers. Just like, oh, this is Ideo's time. Like, oh no, he's down, so he made the sacrifice. And then, apparently something's up happening on the upper level where it's like, Gladius is like, "No, stay down there. Don't come up." There's some bad news happening up here.
And Dellinger's like, "What could possibly be bad news to the both of?" Done. Just one strike with how dangerous Dellinger's come across this entire time.
Yeah.
Taken down.
Dellinger's been a menace. He's been one of the most hard to deal with.
Yeah.
But here we have the return of Hakuba.
Takes him down, and Bartolomeo's like, "There's a really freaky guy on the other side of my barrier. I'm not opening that up."
Nope.
So, yeah, that's 2 chapters, 2 members of the Doflamingo family down.
Yeah. I feel like it really is just like...
time to wrap it up.
One, bam, 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 bam.
Very much so. But, let's go ahead and get to that next chapter. 773, Half and Half. And I do like how, Oda's efficient here with what's going on, how this is all happening, solving our mystery. So Watatsumi was beaten up by the Straw Hats, and he left crying. He was, since he was banished. He found the offering to the sea god, which he gladly took, and as a thank you for it, he picked up the undersea human house and tossed it into the town so they could enjoy it as thank you for the offering. So he's just an idiot.
Yes. Yeah, of course. Yeah, but naturally, the idea of an underwater human's house is like,
some sort of ruins, I assume.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, but that's it for Dellinger. Dellinger is down. All the enemy soldiers are down, and only one standing. Seemed to be standing is Bartolomeo, who realizes like, oh, this is what happened in Block D.
Yep.
It's all this is what's happening. So, and I love these lines. The clothes are obviously Cavendish, but the face belongs to someone else-ish. So tell me, who Vindish is that?
He's so dumb. And then he just, like, while he's pontificating to himself, he attacks the barrier. He's just like, oh god.
It's like, I couldn't even see him. He moves so fast. So, I don't know what you're thinking, but you better stop goofing around. And that's when Hakumo notices Robin. And it's like, no, don't you get any funny ideas now. And no, he immediately takes off. You can see him just running up the mountain, getting ready to take her down. And Robin notices him and catches him, which is
nice. God,
might have to be one of her most badass moments in a long time.
Yeah. They're establishing both through the tournament and here that he's been too fast to perceive, and to have Robin just like it's great. It's awesome.
Yeah, just immediately captures him with all the hands, just binds him up. Like, yeah, like how calm she is too. Is like, your face looks so wicked. Did you want something? And I love how everybody's just calling him Cabbage.
Yes, he's earned that nickname. Yeah, and I also love that Bartolomeo was like, it was so presumptuous of me to think I needed to protect her.
And that's when we find out that it is a full-on other personality. Hakuba gets to take control because Cavendish isn't keeping him down when he's asleep. So, yeah, Cavendish knows about Hakuba. It's like, I never authorized you to show your face. It's like, that was close. I nearly cut you in two. It's like Robin's putting it all together, and he just starts swapping back and forth between the two personalities.
It's so good.
They just start arguing with each other, and he's like, what's going on? And eventually you see his face like half Cavendish, half Hakuba, which is weird.
Yeah, I love, I love the back and forth argument. He's like, I'll do it. No, me, I will. No, me, I will. And this, me will.
And Cavendish is trying to get control, and it basically says, it's okay. You can let go. And she's like, yeah, I can't trust you after all that.
Fair.
And that distraction is enough that Gladius is like, okay, this entire section of the wall to Flower Hill, gone. I'm just getting rid of Robin and all of it. And
just blow it up.
Yep. Just taking care of it all. So Bartolomeo realizes what's going on. He's like, no, you aren't doing anything to Miss Robin. And he's like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. If you can defeat me, you'll prevent the wall from popping. And then he reveals why his hair is so spiky. Because he can pop it out, and it's poison quills.
Naturally, of course.
Why not? Sure. He poisoned his own hair somehow.
Yeah. And then Gladius, he does his best Perfect Cell impersonation.
Yeah, or semi-perfect Cell.
You're right, yeah.
And just a full body rupture man gets ready to burst his entire body. He's like, if you aggravate me, I will burst. Oh my God, that is a straight up homage now that we say that. Because I thought about it, but then I looked at where Bartolomeo's position. He's straight up go on.
Yeah, I think it might actually be a homage.
That's amazing.
Well done, Oda. Well done.
But we have our problem here. We need to knock out Gladius so the wall doesn't rupture. But if he aggravates his body, it will burst and send thousands of those poison quills all over, including the two above them. So Robin will get hurt. So Robin will get hurt, or Robin will get hurt. So what's the choice?
Yes.
And that's when Bartolomeo is like, okay, what's the top right priority? Okay, Robin. Got to stop the wall from blowing up. Got to defeat that hedgehog. But if I do it, I'll get she'll be under assault by the quills. So there is a guy next to her that I don't mind being dead. So, hey, Cabbage, take the hit for Robin.
Yes.
That's the solution. You just take the hit.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I love of course the response is, shut up, roosters. Oh no, it's the dangerous one.
And that's what he feels like. It's like, great. She has 3 ways that she can get it hurt. So, okay, what am I going to do? There's only one way to ensure the needles don't go flying, but the tricky part is my barrier only works in one solid piece at once. But, oh well. And he jumps inside with Gladius, gets near him, puts a barrier around him as a ball, and I got no hesitation in saving you. So he pulls out his knife, stabs into Gladius's neck, and pops him. So just a massive burst within his barrier that rips him up.
He took the hit.
Yep, took the hit for that fan. That fan.
Yes,
true fan right there.
Oh man.
But unfortunately for him, because of how he was blown up, he missed. He didn't stand his windpipe. It was his shoulder. But I also like how Gladius no longer has the spiky hair. He's all like a buzz cut.
Yeah. So at least the poison takes a while to grow back. That's kind of a pain, actually.
It really is. And yep, he failed to stop it. But once again, we have Cavendish being like, I got Hakuba under control. I'm Cavendish now. But if I'm leaving Hakuba half exposed, so, you got to trust me. And Robin has to make the decision. It's like, what do I do? What do I do? And the mountainside bursts, and that seems to be it. But it's revealed that, yes, Cavendish did save her. He put Hakuba in control by grabbing onto his own sword so that he could obey his orders. So,
yeah.
Whew. And that's kind of it for Cavendish, which... cool enough, but
he falls back asleep. But I mean, hey,
he took out
he had to grab his own sword. Yeah, I respect that a lot. And he ended up being the one to kind of save Robin at the end. Is actually pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. And that's when Bartolomeo sees this. It's like, no, I'm sorry, Mr. Luffy. I might not be able to offer that much for now, but I'm gonna learn to be way stronger. And he prepares his homage, holy fist, the barrier pistol, and knocks out Gladius,
which is awesome.
I love it. I once again, we're 3 for 3 in taking out these members.
Yeah,
great fight for Bartolomeo. Very different too.
Very kind of. I don't know if we've ever seen a fight in One Piece where it's just been like I guess like kind of strategic, right? Where it's kind of like kind of bad options all around, where Bartolomeo was having to deal with like I got 3 bad options, so I'm gonna.
So I just got to take the hit myself if I want to protect her. The hit.
Yeah,
and I messed up, but fortunately the other guy was able to step up and show how good he is, and that gave Robin enough time to get up onto the flower hill. And right as she is going to get attacked again, Robin's able to use her butterfly orchid to protect her and redirect the blade, which is awesome. Like, I love these powers that Robin's showing. Give her a proper fight for the love of God.
She needs a one. I don't think she's gonna get it.
I don't think so either. I think she's in full on just protection mode, which is fine. I don't want her taking over the fight against Diamante. There's much more much more personal fight with that, but give her something.
Probably could have gotten one. Yeah.
She's amazing support, but I want her to have it take the stage,
Absolutely. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I do think though that now that Robin's here, I do think that Kyros is probably it's time to lock in, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about your daughter anymore. Like, let's do this thing.
That is absolutely the case, because we got the backup and already proven that can't be happening. So now if Diamante distracts himself with trying to hurt Rebecca, that's just an opening for Kyros. Yeah,
exactly. So
good stuff. We do have an SBS where we got. It's been a while, but we have had the silly old berry, devil fruit. Order of measurement, like
yes,
the same that we got for
we had the gum gums
and the chops and all that.
Yeah.
But then also something I did not notice at all, did not put a connection to. Like, how did people notice this? Good God! But when Corazon Law are on the island belonging, like they're trying to find a doctor, one of the places they go to has a very distinct castle that somebody put this together, belonging to the Livneal Kingdom that Noland was from, and is like, oh, did Corazon go there because this was the country that conquered the skin-changing wood fever? So maybe they all have also have a cure for the white lead disease. And he's like, yeah, that is the same kingdom. Was that actually a thought process? Don't know, but it makes me cry thinking about it too.
Yeah, no, that's pretty crazy.
That's.
That Nolan backstory
connection keeps happening with this.
It keeps happening. It's such a specific thing. Yeah.
I'm So curious about what else we might get from there. But either way, let's go ahead and get to our next chapter, 774, Leo, Captain of the Tontatta Warriors. And
this oh, sorry. Well, we should talk about the I was going to start by saying, like, this is kind of where it lost me a little bit.
I think chapter pages or the actual chapter?
The actual chapter. I feel like I was like, man, this probably should have been 2 chapters, actually. This feels the most kind of chaotic and overstuffed and a little bit sloppy to me.
Yeah. As for our title, it's just Jinbei lecturing the sea guy,
Yeah. Don't do bad things.
Yeah, it's Papa Jinbei, but that's about it. Pretty much. I'm sad how little I'm getting out of this. These story chapters, these cover stories. This cover story, I should say. But
I don't disagree.
But into the chapter itself, Diamante is not happy that Nico Robin is here to help out, and he's looking crazier and crazier each time they focus on him.
Oh, yeah. He's losing it.
And Robin points out what I basically said is like, aren't you giving yourself too big of a handicap? He's like, what handicap? If you think this is a fair and square duel, no, this is an execution. It's like, no, you don't need to worry about us behind you anymore, soldier. I'm here with Rebecca. You take care of him. And Rikiris is like, thanks. I'm just getting more and more pissed off, so I'm ready to just take this dude out.
I'm waiting for this one.
Oh, that is gonna be so satisfying.
Yep.
I am so down for it. Time to get that 3001.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, but we check in on Bartolomeo on the 3rd step, and just like, what are you doing? Like, the men are actually picking him up, and like they're trying to sneak away the body of Gladius. It's like, we're just transporting the loser's corpse. Please don't hurt us. It's like, well, he ain't dead. Well, sure, but it could take 2 or 3 days for him to come to his senses. At least for us to care for him. Fine, just get him out of my sight. Which I didn't. I like the subtlety of this. I did not pick up.
Yeah, it did. I didn't clock it at first until once you realize what's going on.
Yeah, that's pretty good, honestly. That's solid in itself.
Yeah,
but as the chapter indicates, yes, this is the focus on the Tontattas trying to rescue Mancherry, and Viola's in contact with Leo, and basically it's like, you need to hurry because Giola, remember her? Been a while since we've seen her since that whole incident towards the beginning, has caught Mancherry and is forcing her to use her powers. So we need to hurry, and we've been hearing about these powers for a while, but we have no idea what they actually are. So it's fascinating to learn what it's going to be. And the Tontattas are just wiping out everybody as they're on their way to it.
Yeah, they're just running through.
Mm-hmm. But Mancherry's out, and she's being, talked down to by Giola. And we finally get a full look at her, and she's just a princess with a lot of hair. Like, I'm not sure why
just an adorable little thing. Yeah. I don't understand what the big reveal really was, which I guess is sort of the whole Mancherry thing with the Tontattas. I feel like reading this chapter feels like Oda probably had a lot more plans for this and just kind of crammed it all into here. Because of course, Giola kind of, keeps, laying into her. But we reveal she has the heel fruit.
Yeah.
And her plan is to revive all of the fallen officers. And apparently did it to that's how Sugar got back up.
Yeah, I love that explanation, because Usopp did say she just should have been down for 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
When that initially happened, and he's shocked that happened, so he had to put her down again. And this explains how he was able to get up, and she was able to get up. And sure enough, here's all the bodies of the men that got taken down, and they're ready to revive them. Real quick thing though, just because it makes me laugh. The hairstyle of Mancherry totally reminds me of the princess from Triforce Heroes, Zelda. If you remember that at all.
I don't remember her Triforce Heroes design at all.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's not Zelda. Yeah. It's the weird, like, Fashion Kingdom. But it's just like nothing but hair and curls going down.
Oh, this is a very blurry memory on my part.
That's fine.
I played that game, but I definitely don't remember what she looks like.
All good, but yeah, that's Mancherry knows the truth now. You're bad people doing bad things to King Riku, and Doflamingo was lying to us. It's like, I don't want to heal any bad people anymore, and she's so adorable. And I love how it's adorable, like in the
adorable. Yep.
It even gets the Giola.
I love that she gets got, but it also smacks the other henchmen. Stop letting her lead you astray. Just peak auntie vibes.
Yeah, I still don't get her thing where, like, nobody says anything, and then she's like, "Silence! Who are you calling Boa Hancock? Who are you calling the prettiest girl of the millennium? Where is she getting that from? I don't get it."
It's like a worse version of oh god,
it's been too long. Since
Dr. Correa. Dr. Correa. There we go.
Oh gosh, but
yeah, it's a lot more. With Giola, I think the bit is a lot more random, so it's not quite as funny to me.
Not really, but what is kind of horrifying is he decides to just wring her out like a washcloth in order to
so that
the
specifically it's her tears. Or what has
she doesn't realize this was going to
to
happen. She's just like, you need to produce the water, apparently in a watering can, but thanks to her, crying because of it hurting, the tears drip onto one of the soldiers, fortunately just one of the regular guys, and he's fully healed.
Yep.
And it's like, so your tears can even heal wounds. Perfect. And she just starts slapping the heck out of Mancherry, which is, oh my God.
It's brutal. It's sad.
And it's just like, oh no, we gotta take care of it. It's another reason why Doflamingo was so freaking powerful. He knows how to find devil fruit users and make them use them to his advantage.
And that's why he had Mancherry captured this whole time, probably, right?
Oh yeah, heal up his men. They just get beaten and bam, on their feet again, ready to go. That's incredibly useful.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Giola's getting ready to revive all the officers for a round 2, which, oh boy, is that bad. And that's when Leo and I forget the beetle guy, but he used the beetle guy used the beetle uppercut to launch the knocked out members. So the tears missed, and Leo is able to use his so fruit to sew all of the officers and other men to Giola so that they crash into her and knock her out.
That is a hilarious visual.
Yes, it is. It's just wow.
Yep.
And that I love how she goes down. Leo gets a cool hero pose, and she's just like, and Mancherry's like, swoon. Leo came to save me just like a prince, and he caught me. And fortunately, he made it just in time. Stopped Giola before she could revive anyone. Mancherry is saved, and she's like, I was so scared. He's like, and all he says is, did you gain weight?
Yep. Which immediately clocked something in my head, because I remember the first time that Leo mentioned Princess Mancherry. It's like, oh, she's awful, she's terrible, she's selfish. And then this interaction is the complete opposite, where she's a complete sweetheart, just a maiden in love, and he just
does not get it.
No, not at all.
Completely over his head.
Yep.
Now, granted, this chapter was only 15 pages, and we've already technically defeated Giola before, but I guess she's down. And obviously, she's healed up by getting back to the palace. We've got that. Definitely have that excuse now. But it's also one of those things, like, it is a little messy, but I don't know if it needs 2 pages. Like, I like the time limit. Like, it felt like it was happening so quickly, but it feels like we might have needed a little bit more of the checking in with the Tontatta's getting closer. So, I feel like the information should have been spread out a bit more. We
could have cut 3 different scenes of Zoro going after Pika to set this up.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing for me. It's not necessarily that this needed another chapter, because I kind of don't think it did, but this is the subplot that I feel like is the most clearly a victim of rewrites. It feels like of all of the elements that Oda has been juggling this whole arc, which I want to properly express, that there's 1.5 billion different things going on right now, so it's only it's only natural that like something would kind of fall to the wayside, and it ended up being this thing. But it also has me feeling like you have a character with the ability of the heal fruit, and I feel like that feels like it should be more of an element at play than it is. And maybe it will be later, but we only have so much time left.
They could have set it up like having that threat with when Sugar shows up. It's like, oh, it's that. It's like, what's that? And we've got to get her before her power. They use her powers, and it's too much. Maybe they did mention. I can't remember, but it doesn't stand out. We definitely didn't know it was the heal fruit that it was causing that sort of thing. But it was just like setting up and getting it done in a single chapter is fine. But it's just not as elegant.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it.
Mm-hmm. But let's move on to our final chapter for the set. And this one confused me when I read the title.
Yeah, right?
775 to Russian with Love. It's like, why is Russian what? Russia's a thing in One Piece? I don't get it. But
yeah,
we do have another color spread where everybody's riding bikes.
This one's great. It feels very American. It's very road trip.
Yeah, I like how it comes across as like a motorcycle gang, but it's all just bicycles.
Yeah.
You ever notice that Usopp always is the one that gets the ladies? Like the ladies are with him.
Maybe they'll think that Usopp's he'll be the least creepy about it. Although then again, I feel like Luffy maybe equally the least creepy, but also the least likely to be in active danger.
Yeah, that's also
true.
If
you ride with Luffy, your life will be in danger.
I mean, Usopp also has a girl back home, so
that's also true. He's the most normal. It's fine.
Yeah.
It is with color spreads like these. It does remind me. Again, it's been like 50 chapters since we've seen half of these characters.
It is weird to think about, but it's like we haven't seen him, but I also haven't exactly not missed him is the bad is not the way to put it, but I've not noticed their absence. I guess the best way to put it, because things have just
there's
been
so much else
forward.
Yeah, there's been so much else going on.
It's sort of the same thing as what happened with Luffy being on his own. Like,
yeah,
you miss him, but it's not like the story is so boring that it's like, where are they? They need to come back.
Oh,
the story's terrible.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah,
totally self-sufficient. But here we get the whole thing with Leo and Mancherry. It's like, Leo, I hurt my leg. You can carry me on your back now, or even in your arms. It's like, it's her selfishness. It's like she's so selfish. It's like, why don't you just heal your own wounds? You've always been fast, princess. Come on, just run with us. She's like, then I'm not escaping. And it's like, there's the princess's fickleness. And no one asked you to save me. He's like, That's when the beetle guy just bonks him on the head. It's like, just carry her. Come on.
Yeah.
And that's when she's like, and he's complaining about her. She's selfish and fickle and irritable and a pain in the tush. And meanwhile, she's just thinking, I love Leo's back.
How dense can he be? This is the beetle guy. It's just like, I didn't expect that. It was one of those things that I didn't realize that the way that Leo was talking about her initially was like, oh, this is setting up like that Leo has like 6-year-old boy brain.
Very much so. Just completely taken with him, and he has no idea. But Jill is down, but she's not out completely. She really wants to report to Doflamingo, and he's like, he suspects that the ultimate feature of the all heal fruit is a restorative ability that sacrifices the lifespan of the user. That way, if anything should happen to the Smile Factory, he can still restore it to its original state. And
what is it with all these devil fruits with like, you get to do this thing if you die?
Apparently certain devil fruits just have that ability, and he's just researched them to find them out.
Yeah.
So I guess that's his thought, is like, he can even heal objects and restore them, which is his whole plan with the Smile Factory. But, the factory is in trouble. The last line of defense is Senor Pink. So it's finally time to wrap up this fight between Frankie and Pink. And It's such a weird fight because it's from everything else, because Senor Pink's just standing there and takes Frankie's strong hammer, and he goes into his splash fruit or whatever. So he goes into
some fruit. Yeah, he just goes he swims into the ground.
Yeah, I want to say into the water, but it's not water. So
right, yeah. It looks like water. It's got a splash sound effect, but
yeah. And again, he takes that opportunity to suplex him again. Poor Frankie has been suplexed so many times by Pink.
Yeah, I love that because the Tontattas are like, you could have easily dodged that attack. You've taken the same move over 30 times now. And then the ladies are the same way. He's like, why, senor? You've taken the same punch 30 times.
And it's like, when you're offered drinks at the bar, a man doesn't take his glass off the table. What? So I ain't gonna bother dodging his attacks. I'll take everything he's got and still win. That's what my strong style means. And
hell yeah.
It's like, I know you're worried, but this is a man's fight. Just stand back and watch me win. I ain't gonna let you go back into slavery. And it's like, yeah, Fraulein. And that's when Senor Pink comes in. It's like, yeah, that just got me tipsier than any dive bar I've been in, kid. Don't forget what you just said. I ain't a spring chicken no more, so the next move's gonna settle this. And
also the whole gag that they're so far away from each other while he's talking.
Even it's one of the girls that mentioned this. It's like, you're too far. It's like, you know what I'm getting at, don't you? You just said you'd take everything I've got, and if a man never goes back on his word, then let's see you survive this one. He starts power swimming towards him, grabs hold of Frankie, and basically declares, if you get back on your feet after this one, then I lose. And Frankie's just like, I'll take your final attack with everything I got. It's actually really impressive where he just...
It's so super hype.
swims him up to the top of the tallest tower, goes massively into the air, and prepares for a massive suplex right back into the ground. And that's when Pink mentions, if I just keep flying, I could see Russian again. And Frankie's like, Russian? I also got a son named Gimlet. But it's too bad I got gravity to deal with. And Frankie's like, what are you talking about? And we get back into the fight. He's like, hey, your back's still flesh and blood, right, Cyborg? Oh, no, you knew that? Now shut up before you bite your tongue. And he's ready for the massive suplex, the baby buster. And plants Frankie straight in the ground. And everybody's shocked. And all of a sudden, Frankie stands up and wheezing, bloodied. His eye even looks a little messed up. He might have...
Yeah, looks damaged.
He looks like he has a Terminator eye at that.
Yeah. That's. Mm-hmm.
And Pink keeps his arms crossed and says, "Yep, I lose. I'm sorry, young master." And Frankie takes the opportunity to give all his, and with the Frankie Iron boxing, and just starts pounding him. Like everybody is just like, "Oh no, poor Pink."
It's sad almost.
A little bit. It's like he declared he lost, and Frankie's still beating the crap out of him. I feel bad for that.
Yeah, but it's also that's the man's way.
That's the man's way. He took my punishment. Now it's time for me to take his punishment. So, but that rain of blows reminds him of the first day he met Russian, and the day that they stopped smiling. They were dark nights under a hail of rain, and here's Pink hanging outside a cafe with this girl comes by, and she's like, it's really coming down, isn't it? And that's okay with me. I love the rain. And somehow the conversation gets on, what do you hate? Pirates. I hate them to death. So what do you do? Oh, I work at a bank. But yeah, it turns out they get married, have a baby, and that's the Gimlet. And all the while, like, she has no idea that he's a pirate and going out and, causing mayhem. But one time he gets back and she's like, where were you? And that's when she reveals Gimlet died.
Yep.
Pink's kid died from sudden fever, rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. And because of this, she's like tried to call the bank over and over, and they said that he didn't work there. So you're a liar. What is your real job? Where did our money come from? You don't have to be the right to be a father. And just smacks him. Just, how dare you treat me like a fool? And she runs out of the house crying. It's just like, stop following me. Don't be anywhere near me. And he tries to go after her, tries to see what's going on. And that's when an accident happens. And she's trapped into the landslide. Her condition is poor, and she's basically been left in a vegetative state, completely unresponsive.
And then that just kind of breaks Senor Pink, where he's just like, this never would have happened if you hadn't met me, and I lied to you because I didn't want to lose you. And like this whole thing just feels like a TV, like a drama.
Yeah, it does come across as sort of a Spanish drama, like one of those telenovelas. In a way,
very much so. Yeah.
Just maybe it's kind of based on the way Pink is dressed, but I like how ostensibly plain Russian is. Like you compare it to the girls who are overtly sexy that call after Senor Pink, but you have Russian here who freckles, very common. Like it doesn't have the sexiness of other characters that we've seen from Oda. I like the restrained style; it looks good.
Yeah, and I kind of really like that with Pink as a character, right? Where like he does have all of these like sexy ladies kind of after him, and so look that like sort of that disaffected kind of I don't care, like it's not a bit like that's you kind of I feel like you get the feeling now that he had a one true love. He was devoted, and it is he doesn't care about looks or he doesn't care about having like the sexiest woman on his arm or anything like that.
No, and he's desperate to see her smile one more time, and he says, "Hey, look, I found Gimlet's baby bonnet. Don't I look like him? He did take after me." And he's like, "Oh, I'll take it off. I'm sorry, it was a bad joke." And he looks up at her as he's getting ready to take it off, and she's actually smiling. And because of that, he just starts wearing the bonnet, starts wearing the pacifier, because every time, and he starts wearing the diaper, every time she sees him in that makes her smile. And doesn't matter that the others are laughing at him, doesn't matter that people are calling him a pervert or a creep. It's worth it to make her smile. And what the hell? This goofy ass character that we love the juxtaposition of, with this weird guy in a baby outfit who wears it because it's the only thing that made his wife smile after going into a vegetative state.
Yes. After losing their baby boy. That there was this kind of heartbreaking, dramatic story underneath the surface of a very, on a surface level, very goofy character who's like, we've loved Senor Pink, throughout this whole arc of like, who is this freak? Who is this guy? Like he's cool, but like, in a really kind of ridiculous way. And to have it all wrapped up in this, just kind of really sad and tragic backstory is just, that's why he's one of the most memorable, sections of the whole arc. This is, I think, when people think of Dressrosa, I think people think of this.
He might be my favorite minion since Bon Clay.
Yeah, 100% agreed. He's absolutely one of the best. There's something about just having like that. Again, just such a touching
freaks with
backstory.
Hearts of gold and
freaks
backstory
with hearts of
driving
gold.
in. Yeah,
absolutely. And just I even love it from Frankie's perspective too, where like he gives that final blow. And he's just kind of like, what are you thinking back on as you cry, brother? And he, wipes his tear and he just says, should we ever cross paths again? Let's share some drinks and you can tell me about the woman named Russian.
I just want to stand up and clap like, hell yeah, Frankie.
Yeah, no, that's absolute cinema.
Yeah. Again, and Frankie got messed up in this battle. He did lose basically his like eye covering. Like I didn't even realize that was mechanical. Like holy crap, Frankie.
Yeah, no, like I that's also the other thing too. Like this is probably de facto like Frankie's best fight, and the fact that he got a really good fight after all this time. Yeah,
I mean he had a great fight against Baby 5 and Buffalo. Like Frankie versus Frankie versus the Don Quixote family is just perfection. Like every one of his fights is great and entertaining.
And really, Frankie as a character has been on fire this whole arc. He's been, kind of one of the most invested. He's been the one who's been kind of driving like the Straw Hats' actions, to driving them into action of understanding what is happening here and like we need to act, we need to help these people. So I love it, man.
Yeah. And it's also one of those things where, much like Zoro, he was constantly getting flashed to as well, seeing what was going on with him, because he's been fighting Senor Pink for a while, which we've joked about.
I think the difference is that this is funny.
Yeah, there's a humor to this. There's a ridiculousness to it. Zoro is mostly cool with most of his interactions, and it's neat, but at one point you're just like, when are you going to get to the point? This is like. I know you eventually get there, but every time it happens, I'm just like, I'm entertained.
Yeah. And I was never like, oh god, this fight is still going on. Like it's great.
Very much so. So, yeah, I mean, short-ish chapter, but again, that extra texture that we got with Baby 5, that we got with with Cavendish, that we got with Senor Pink, does add to it. I like that.
It does.
It's a simple fight.
It's not just about the fight,
Yeah,
Like,
it's not
Oda
just you beat him this time.
Mm-hmm.
Other than like Dellinger, he was just taken out. We get a cool reveal for him, and then he's done. So, but I think if memory serves, that's all of the minor members of the Doflamingo's family. I think all that's left is Pika, Diamante, and Treble.
Yeah, and presumably
very much getting close.
We're very much getting close, yeah. And assuming, because Treble is still with Doflamingo, there's always the chance that could break out into a 1v1. I don't really remember. I don't think so. So I think he'll be kind of around for it. So really, it's like 3 fights effectively. Amazing. And Bellamy is still. We didn't see Luffy.
Luffy has to take care of Bellamy, and then finally.
Yeah.
I wonder how many chapters the Luffy versus Doflamingo fight's going to be.
Yeah. I certainly don't remember. We only have but so many chapters left.
I mean, really, we only have 25 chapters left, so it can't be a super long fight. But I don't know. Things are definitely winding down.
Definitely. Yep.
So, good stuff. But, with that, I believe we've said all we've wanted to say about chapters 771 to 775 of One Piece. Thank you so much for listening, and you can find more of my ramblings and stream VODs over at BitNerd Games on YouTube, or simply BitNerd on BlueSky. And Brandon, where can everyone find you?
I am Brandon Bovia on Twitter and BlueSky, talking about anime, manga, games, and my job, and just doing more of that. Yeah.
Definitely check it out. And if you'd like to help us out more, you can support the podcast over at patreon.com/Derrick Bittner. That's DerrickBitner to listen to the next episode ad-free 3 days early, as well as patron-exclusive bonus episodes. And make sure to return next time as we discuss chapters 776 to 780 of One Piece. So until then, my friends, bye.
Remember to take life one piece at a time.
No problem. Then I'll die happily. I don't mind at all if it'll help you.
Wait!
I love helping people more than anything in the world. I'm glad you need me.